half in the bag.
Who stole the cookie from the cookie jar?
I can't believe we've been stuck here for over a month now.
And I can't believe that the last movie we watched before all the streaming services went offline was Money Plane. What a waste.
And even the fucking cable TV doesn't work. Ever since China nuked all of our satellites. What a year.
We can't even watch all the rioting that's happening in Chicago live on TV anymore.
I know. I'm very curious to see how much of Portland, Oregon has burned down.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll never visit occupied territory, formerly known as New York City, ever again.
Jay, did you ever think we'd be living in RoboCop 2?
Yes.
There is a silver lining to all this, though. I mean, at least the power grid is still on. We've got plenty of VHS tapes in the back to watch, and we've got Grubhub.
Oh no, Mike, don't you remember? Grubhub won't deliver here anymore after the last delivery driver got a hernia from carrying in all your food.
That's right. If we get really desperate, we could eat all the rats that live in the back of the shop. But with our luck, the rats will have the bubonic plague.
And the saddest thing is that my birthday came and went, and nobody even noticed.
You're wrong, Jay. I noticed. Wait, right here.
What is this, some sort of surprise?
I got you a birthday cake.
Oh my God! Wow, with candles and everything. Although it's kind of sad, I probably shouldn't blow them out, just in case I'm asymptomatic.
No worries, Jay. I thought about that too. These are actually self-blow-outing birthday candles.
Oh, so they're just like regular candles and you just wait for them to die out?
No. They're e-candles. I paid $1,000 for all these. They have some kind of digital timer in them that knows when to blow out. They even have a little microphone in each one that can tell when you're done singing the happy birthday song. Super advanced technology. Very expensive.
Wow, that's... I guess you never know what they're gonna come up with next.
Well, it's good we got these face shields.
Where did you say you got these candles?
I got them at the fireworks store. The guy there sold them to me for a special discount. It's funny. I didn't know they sold birthday candles at the fireworks store. I'm so stupid.
Speaking of stupid, do you want to talk about Money Plane?
Sure. Are you gonna eat that?
After discovering a mysterious artifact buried beneath the lunar surface, mankind sets off on a quest to find its origins with the help from intelligent supercomputer HAL 9000.
Jay?
Yes.
This is all your fault. You wanted to talk about Money Plane.
Hey, Aqua Splash was all your fault, so this is payback, I guess.
Is this officially desperate times? Because the only thing to watch is Money Plane?
Hey, it's a new movie. It's a new movie that's out and you can watch it. So we watched it.
Word is they carry up to $1 billion on board in crypto and millions in cash. I want you and your crew to take down the house.
It's insane.
Money Plane, while watching it, it starts off and I'm like, oh my God, This looks just like a poorly done episode of like a CSI show. Or,
yeah, it looks like a TV show.
Yeah,
and it feels like one at first too.
I wouldn't agree to even talk about this movie for a lot of reasons, because it's basically, oh God, it's probably on par or worse than an asylum movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
On par or worse.
Mm-hmm.
And we wouldn't review just a random asylum movie because those are cheap cash grabs. But this one has a little more of an interesting twist to it, meaning the cast.
The cast and the fact that it feels a little more earnest than an asylum movie.
Yes.
Like those Sharknado movies are basically comedies and they know it and the whole thing is just a joke. This one, they were trying to make a Michael Bay action comedy.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Here's how things are and how things appear to be.
Is it normal for museum guards to have machine guns? We weren't there 2 days ago when we did a recon.
So the cast, it's not just a bunch of nobodies. There's Kelsey Grammer, Joey Lawrence is in it. Hairplugs.
Yes.
Mr. Hairplugs.
Well, he was famous for, he was the dumb brother on the show Blossom.
Yeah.
And he was kind of known for having his long, thick hair. So that's got to be tough for him as he's gotten older.
Sure.
With getting those hair plugs.
Yeah, they're pretty obvious. It's like doll hair.
Yeah. Well, also, he's not the only Lawrence in the film. We have, because I had heard about this movie a little bit beforehand, and I knew that Joey Lawrence's brother directed it. And then Matthew Lawrence is his brother, who shows up in the movie with a comical fake mustache and a cowboy hat.
Howdy, folks. Deal me in.
Splendid. Now we have a game.
I was like, oh, he must have directed this. But no, there's a third Lawrence, and that's the one that directed it.
Joey Lawrence's kid brother.
Yes.
Because he's a good decade younger than Joey Lawrence.
Yeah. Yeah, there's three of them. The oldest is Joey, middle is Matthew, and then the youngest is whatever his name is. I guess this is news to me, but I guess all three of them were on a sitcom at one point together. All of them in one show. Can you believe it? It's called Brotherly Love. It lasted 2 seasons on some network.
2 seasons. I was going to say, is it the fastest show ever canceled? I was not familiar with any Lawrence other than Joey Lawrence. We saw him at Comic-Con one year at Chicago.
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
He was in the Celebrity Zoo.
Welcome to the Celebrity Zoo, where careers come to die.
Oh.
He was one of the animals in the Celebrity Zoo.
I have no memory of him being there. Huh.
Where to begin? Money Plane, the premise is awful. It's the worst premise ever. It's trying to be like a Ocean's 11 movie or a Mission Impossible Tom Cruise kind of heist thriller.
Yes.
But it's like it's written by an 11-year-old who doesn't understand anything about heist movies.
Or planes, or criminals.
Or gambling.
Or gambling, yeah.
Oh my God. Thomas Jane is also in it.
He is, yeah.
Who I didn't recognize at first. He plays the friend of the wrestler. The lead character, I don't know what his name is.
The character's name is Jack.
Jack. He's a wrestler, a professional wrestler, not a professional actor.
No. He has one expression in this whole movie, which is mildly concerned.
Mildly concerned.
He's like,
and or confused.
That's what he does through the whole movie.
There is one scene, though, where he fights the airplane's co-pilot, who I'm going to assume is also some wrestler. We don't know anything about wrestling, so, you know, when you say, oh, the co-pilot...
There's a cameo by...
yeah, that's so-and-so.
The Gravedigger.
Yeah. It's like, how do you not know that? No, we don't know wrestling. And then they're doing some sweet wrestling moves in the cockpit.
And not to discount the fact that they have this whole heist plan that involves him taking over the cockpit, which requires him to knock out the pilots. And I guess he was completely unaware that planes have co-pilots.
Fucking co-pilot.
Because he was completely caught off guard by that.
He's an expert heist criminal, Jay. I think that was supposed to be like not a joke, but like a funny thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in this movie. It's supposed to be like I mentioned Michael Bay, where it's, you know, there's lots of humor in Michael Bay movies. and it's always awkward and bad. It's trying to do that, I think.
It should be called They Spent All Their Money on Kelsey Grammer, or a lot of people owed Joey Lawrence some favors. I'm not sure what. I'm going to guess they mustered up a bunch of cash from the Lawrence Fund.
Oh, their brotherly love syndication money.
This couldn't have cost that much to make. So I'm sure
they had one set.
Yeah.
They had one tiny plane room that they reused for multiple rooms.
Yes. And so this was obviously, not a big budget film, and they thought that maybe they could carry the movie on names, mainly Kelsey Grammer.
His character's name is Darius Emanuel Grouch III.
Darius Emanuel Grouch III.
And if that's not enough, he also has a nickname of the Rumble.
Better known as the Rumble.
Which, if your last name is Grouch, that's your nickname. You're the Grouch. I don't know, the Rumble just sounds laughable.
Bunch of bitches.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like diarrhea. I don't get the last name Grouch either. I think of Sesame Street.
Yeah, you think of Oscar the Grouch.
You owed a lot of money to some very bad people. I'm not just a businessman. I'm an opportunist. So I bought your debt.
Maybe he's a grouchy guy, but
no, that's just his name.
It's like a Austin Powers name. Like I can't wrap my head around if this movie was a joke or not.
There is a legend in the underworld. Those in the know, it's called a money plane.
It doesn't feel like it. That's the weird thing. Visually, it looks like it. The movie looks like a spoof movie that they meticulously edited out all the jokes from.
Right.
Because every time they cut to that Jack, the main guy, cut to him in that cockpit, it looks like an SNL sketch.
Yeah. He's flying the plane and he's doing the driving thing. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, what? And can we talk about?
We proceed with the plan. We're in too deep. We got to get out of this mess without getting double-crossed again.
I don't know. We'll start at the beginning.
It's hard. Yeah, there's a lot.
This can be dissected. And let me just preface by saying this is not funny bad. I'm just going to get that for me.
It's not laugh out loud funny, but it's all so poorly executed that cumulatively it's funny.
But it's not overly hilariously bad where you watch it with a group of people and everyone's laughing and throwing things at the screen and all that. So rule that out right off the bat. Rule that out. For 82 minutes, it felt like 4 hours. I was like, when is this going to be over? But I was fascinated by so much of this movie. I can forgive low budget if someone who is 20 years old made this in their mom's backyard, with the plane set that they built in their garage, right?
Sure.
I could forgive it, but considering the fact
these are professionals,
and they're trying to pull off something beyond their range in almost every facet.
Yeah. Well, it starts right at the beginning where we have our little opening action scene to establish our group that do these heists all the time.
Abort! We've been compromised. Abort!
Led by the wrestler guy, led by Jack. But we see this establishing shot of it looks like an abandoned insane asylum, but it's supposed to be an art museum.
I think it's a trucking depot. That you could see all the trucking
there's bays.
Docks, but it's abandoned.
But it's clearly abandoned, but they say it's an art museum to the point where they have text come up on the screen, when you say where your movie's taking place, but it just says art museum. But they're supposed to be doing this heist to steal this painting, and it turns out that the painting they're there to steal is not there, and that's the setup for the whole movie that when we get a revelation later in the film makes literally no sense.
No, I was so confused. At first I was like, I the setup is, he's doing this job. The guy owes somebody money, a lot. He owes a lot of bad people money. Him and his crew, the tech guy I forget his name. His fake name is like McGillicuddy or something.
Yeah, he's
Doesn't
a
there-
black guy. I guess it's supposed to be kind of funny.
It's funny
that
because he's an
Irish
Irishman.
name. Yeah.
There's not black people in Ireland.
Again, Michael Bay humor.
Michael Bay level humor, right. And then there's a girl who does like something. Oh, she's like the Loch Smith or she's the safe cracker
Okay. Oh, yeah.
or something.
But she never cracks any safes in the entire film.
This is not the same bolt from the schematics. It looks like biometric, some upgraded version of that shit. I can still crack it, but I'm gonna need more time.
There is no more time.
No. The safe is controlled by a. I don't even want to go there. There's a keypad on the safe, but there's also a thumbprint thing.
Yeah.
So she doesn't have to crack it.
No.
There's no exciting safe cracking scene. That's tense. There's ticking clock. Got to crack the safe before the bad guys get and find you.
Yeah.
Like every aspect of trying to do like a Tom Cruise-esque Mission Impossible kind of thing with the clever plot twists and the funny humor and the adventure and action. It's just complete failure. The room where the painting is supposed to be viewed, this $40 million painting, is like drywall. That's not like, it's on a concrete floor, and there's like
brick walls.
You see the 2x4s where they built the set, and it's like, oh my God. And it's not in there. And then he tries to go in the beginning. He's like, I have a private viewing of the art. And there's like 9 cops there with like machine guns, and he's scanning his card, and the guy's trying to hack the thing.
Hack the system so the card is approved.
Yeah. So it turns out it was a switcheroo. Kelsey Grammer faked the whole thing so that he could trick Jack into robbing the money plane for him.
Yeah.
Just for cash.
Well, the twist later in the movie, you find out that the painting that he was hired to steal was actually owned. He was hired by Kelsey Grammer, but Kelsey Grammer owned the painting.
The name on record is some company called Bond Global. Now, Bond Global is owned by Rumble Corp. Why would he have you steal the painting he already owns?
You didn't steal that painting I wanted you to, so now you've got to rob the money plane for me? But there's no reason for him to do the whole fake stealing a painting thing because he says you're going to rob the money plane or I'm going to kill your family. So the painting thing had no purpose. But that scene, so we have our opening failed heist, and then we see him sitting across from Kelsey Grammer, and Kelsey Grammer introduces himself to him, even though they have a history together.
Darius Emmanuel Grouch III.
Then that's the setup to get to the money plane.
Yeah. Well, yeah, as Kelsey Grammer's explained. Well, first of all, he's like, I could kill you right now. And he has a henchman with a canvas that he puts behind his head to explain to him.
Part.
Well, it's like, does he just always have that on hand for when he has to threaten somebody?
It's a good threat.
He has his little henchman with a canvas behind him.
I'm gonna blow your brains out on this canvas and create my own Jackson Pollock.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's cute.
But when Kelsey Grammer's explaining the money plane to him, he's like, it's all sorts of illegal gambling and illegal activity going on that plane, but no one can be prosecuted because it's happening over international waters. And he says something about like, if you want to, anything you want can be wagered on the money plane. If you want to see a dude fucking alligator, money plane.
The money plane has you covered. You want to bet on a dude fucking an alligator? Money plane.
Which is the line of the movie. But I'm just wondering what that bet is.
Yeah, I wrote copious notes. I wrote like this whole page in the first 7 minutes. Oh God, I don't even know where to start.
Money plane.
Stock music. The dresser is next to the bed, like where the nightstand goes, and he has a loaded gun in his dresser, and he has a 5-year-old daughter.
Oh yeah, in his house.
A dude fucking an alligator. Plan A is only as good as your plan B.
3. Plan A is only as good as your plan B.
Sounds like something Confucius would say. But okay, we're going to talk. There's no cameras on board. No cameras on board. I wrote that down because we're going to talk
all the crazy illegal activities. So you can't have the cameras on the money plane.
There are many little lines that are thrown in there. They're all delivered by Joey Lawrence, who plays the concierge of the plane.
Or as he describes himself, the concierge.
I am your concierge.
and I am here to facilitate your every desire for action and speculation.
Yes, he does say that. I thought I heard that.
I rewound it to make sure. One take, that's all they get. The concierge. He also makes a point that's in the scene where they're like, "Welcome to the money plane, gentlemen." There's like 6 people on the money plane. When you think of this like giant, elaborate, decadent plane with all this gambling and stuff, you picture like a double-decker and just people everywhere.
It is a double-decker, and I don't know. I'm assuming that's stock footage of a plane. It's like a blank white plane, and it's a double-decker, and all the windows on the bottom are blocked out, or closed or whatever.
But then when we see the interior, it's one tiny little half of an airplane set. But Joey Lawrence is introducing. He's like, yeah, we have a great staff on the plane. We have the best pilots, because they're like, ooh, that was a smooth takeoff.
Now that is a smooth takeoff.
Obliged. We employ the finest pilots in the world.
We have the best. We hire nothing but the best pilots, and I should know because I am a pilot.
I know because I myself am a pilot.
And they really emphasize that?
I thought he was going to fly the plane at the end.
I thought there was going to be a situation where he had to take over flying the plane. Never brought up again.
No, never happened.
Why is that line in there?
And I don't know who. Oh, I know why. Because I'll explain it to you right now, Jay.
Okay.
They set up right off the bat that Jack goes into his daughter's bedroom the evening before they're going to go on the money plane heist, and he reads her Robin Hood. Yeah. And she goes, "Daddy, it's okay to steal for your family?" And he's like, "Yes." And she's like, "Can I steal candy from my friend that's a bitch?" And he's like, "No."
Only if you give the candy to other kids.
Yeah. So there's some hackneyed, like, this is a good guy plot, because they end up killing people on the money plane, of course. And the end of the film, they bail out of the money plane with both pilots dead. So it's built in, because we don't know who's flying the plane after they bail out.
Yeah.
So it's built in that these 3 heroes didn't just abandon the plane with absolutely no one on board who's capable of landing it.
I was wondering that for the second half of the movie, when they're all in the back of the plane taking care of the money and the cryptocurrency. Yeah. I was like, who the fuck's flying the plane?
Autopilot. Okay? Autopilot.
It's the autopilot from Airplane, the blow-up doll?
Yes. I don't think Autopilot can land a plane. I don't think it's that sophisticated of technology yet. So
are we supposed to assume that
Joey Lawrence landed the plane?
Okay. Why not just show that then?
Money plane.
Well, I don't know. It's a thinker. What can I say? It's a thing. That's why they said that. So we know that they didn't just let the plane like slowly, lose power and crash into a major city and blow up and kill everyone.
God forbid you kill all these human traffickers.
Well, that's the thing is, some of them might be like just people who want to gamble, and they might not all be awful. You don't want your characters killing everyone on the money plane, even though they are mostly awful people.
Right.
Money plane.
Yeah. I can't even fathom the concept. Like I said, it's like an 8-year-old wrote it. The plane flies over international waters so they can do illegal gambling with cryptocurrency and or cash. Mm-hmm. They say that's one of the setup lines. We have the best pilots in the world. Mm-hmm. And to my knowledge, not even the best pilots in the world can avoid turbulence. And every airplane goes through some kind of turbulence at some point, which is why there has never been a casino on an airplane. Because you at any moment, an airplane could hit turbulence and fling everybody's shit all over the place. Which is why when you're on an airplane, they say stay in your seat or have your seatbelt on when you're not going around. Because at any moment, the plane could just hit turbulence and you could fly up and bang your head, which happens a lot. There are casinos on cruise ships, and that isn't moving. And an actual cruise ship has very little movement because they're so big, and they're not unless you hit like a rogue wave, like the Poseidon Adventure. Your cruise ship isn't going to constantly, rock back and forth unless it's in a storm.
Right.
But airplanes, you can't put a casino on an airplane. But also, it's like, okay, so where does this casino plane land and take off?
In an undisclosed location. They show the wide shot of stock footage of an airport.
Yes.
And it says undisclosed location.
Yes, it says money plane terminal, undisclosed location. And there's like 50 planes. And it's clearly like a big
It's a working airport,
It's a major airport. It's just stock footage of a major airport. So then
And then when they show the terminal where they're boarding the plane, it's just a bunch of curtains
It's just a
hanging
bunch
out?
of curtains. Are all those money planes? Or is one money plane get its own private little terminal somehow? It should be in some like completely rogue nation on the planet Earth, right? Like North Korea or something, where they have like an agreement with the North Korean government. Can we use this one barely used terminal at your airport? We're gonna pay Kim Jong-un $100 million a year to let us use this airport, and he's gonna look the other way. So we've got to fly to North Korea first and go to the money plane terminal that's secretly hidden behind this wall that opens up behind North Korean guards, and you have to, but they don't even set that up. So it's like, what airport, who, where, what?
Money plane.
Because if it's in the United States, which I'm assuming it is.
It seems to be pretty close to where they all live, I guess.
Yeah, we have the FAA and all sorts of laws and regulations about money planes, inspections, safety inspections, who's operating this airliner, what ground crew works on it, who fixes the engine.
Mike, they hired the best.
They hire the best.
They hired the best crew.
So it's a laughable concept to be asked to take seriously.
Yes.
Money plane.
Well, and then when you see the execution of the money plane, they're introducing all the different rooms of the plane. And he's like, this is the main gaming room. And there's like one table in it and some curtains. That's how they separate the rooms. It's the same little set, but they go through curtains, and now they're in a new set. They just redecorated the one little plane set they had.
And apparently they have like hotel rooms too, because he's like, I'm going to go to my cabin.
Yeah.
And we never see that.
We never see that.
So
yeah.
at some place on the plane, I have not been on like a gigantic double-decker, huge jet, but the size, like window to window, was like a cheap domestic airliner. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And not like a much wider like international plane where there's like 4 or 5 seats in the middle and then 3 and 3. It could be much bigger. But I want to say this. I think they filmed on a real plane, like a decommissioned plane, and I'll explain why.
Maybe like part of one that was in a warehouse somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Because I would have made the sets much bigger, which explains kind of. We always have a theory with bad B movies. They had access to.
Oh, sure.
Ellipses,
We have this decommissioned, just commercial plane. Right. We have this tiny little section of it. We got to film everything in there.
Yeah, we have a chunk of plane that we can use, and because the doors look like legit, like they didn't build. They could only afford curtains.
Yes.
So they did not build an actual like working door.
It's probably they have all these like different studio spaces in LA. They probably just had like the airplane set that you can rent. And they rented that out.
Maybe, but one of the reasons why I think it may have been a real plane was because when the wrestler is flying the plane, you see him holding the controls, right? And you can see some of the details, and it looks like all crappy, all worn out.
Oh, like an older.
And they don't film the way forward, which I'm guessing is because maybe they ripped out a lot of the control guts, recycled some of the parts. Like they didn't have all the shit in the cockpit that made it a perfectly working cockpit.
Yeah. Yeah, all the shots in there are really like
they're low
claustrophobic.
Inside, yeah. And they don't. Obviously put a green screen up along the side window and part of the front window, but you never see that shot where they're looking forward.
Yeah.
And you see the real controls, so it looks like real plane stuff. Because if you're going to build a plane set, it'll look either really bad in this case, in their budgetary sense, it'll look terrible, or it'll look like the Ed Wood plane set, right? Where's the plane set, Mr. Wood? It's
Your
right
Standy
here.
did it.
Yeah, it would look like that, or it would, or they would try to make it look not crappy. It aged. It looked aged.
This is what we have access to.
It looked like an airliner from like the 1970s or something, where it was like decaying and rotting.
Look, the money plane's been around for a while.
It's the most luxurious and elegant, sophisticated airliner in the world, and for the most elite, rich people to gamble and, you know.
That's what I heard from the concierge.
I am your concierge.
And clearly the below deck stuff is a set, just like a junky set with.
It's like a hallway set. It's so tidy.
Well, they go into the storage room or something, the safe room, and you can see like the 2x4s and the other side of the 2x4s. they put some like metal sheeting on a closet door to make it look like it was like a secured room, but there was just a doorknob.
Yeah.
There's
one room they go in, it's like supposed to be the server room, because that's where all the crypto money is being stored, because that's how the internet works. I don't even know what's happening.
Who stole the cookie from the cookie jar?
Who, me?
Yeah, you stole that cookie.
I just know that the only character that's really like proactive in the movie is the girl of the group. Her name is Isabel. She has the exact same scene 3 times throughout the movie, which is she tries to sneak into a room. There's so little security on this plane because they're just sneaking around everywhere through the whole thing. She sneaks into a room, a dude shows up, and she has to half-assedly seduce him and then beat him up. That exact same scene happens 3 times.
It literally happens 3 times.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
It's like, well, I don't know, what else do you do with a girl? My favorite is the 3rd time where the guy comes at her and she breaks a bottle and starts like stabbing him in the stomach with it.
Yeah.
But then in the very next shot, all the blood that was rushing out of his stomach is just gone. He's completely clean again.
Yeah,
the sound effects are really awkward too. It's like too quiet.
Yeah.
So that's a really awkward sound.
The punching sounds aren't your traditional punching. They're just boop, boop, boop.
And they're mixed really quietly.
Yeah, they bought some breakaway glass, clearly. They show the bottles. They're made of like sugar or something, right?
Yeah, sugar glass.
And then they really made use of those. She smashes like a whiskey bottle on his head, and it just like, it shatters like it's made of like sugar glass. Like a whiskey bottle would be really difficult to break over someone's head. That's like a rugged, even a beer bottle.
Those are thick. Yeah, it's hard to break those.
Yeah, and then she throws the guy into the servers.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to mention this part, and he goes,
ah! He gets electrocuted. He doesn't even touch anything.
No, and the servers are like old VCRs. There's one where I saw a DVD tray was open.
It opened in the shot, like accidentally. There was like a burned DVD in there.
They went to like the Goodwill and bought a bunch of like old VCRs and DVD players and piled them up so that they could be their servers.
It's been 1 week, you looked at me, cocked your head to the side,
but yeah, throwing a guy into, I guess servers are like electrically charged.
Well, that's why that's the reason they're behind that glass.
Oh, yeah. They have a live electrical charge going through them?
Yeah, you can't touch them.
You can't even like do maintenance on them or press a button.
No, don't touch them.
It's live and electrically charged.
Mm-hmm. High voltage, those computer servers.
Right. So if you fly through that glass, you get electrocuted by just going like this, and nothing happens to you. It's like a play. It's like make believe. We're playing make believe.
Here comes Daddy.
I guess he flies the plane now.
He should have been the one like involved in all the gambling hijinks.
Trey will represent me while Isabella searches for the vault in the server room.
Like McGillicuddy was, and that was for comical effect. Like, in addition to traditional gambling, like they play Texas Hold'em, which is, oh my God, they have like a plastic poker table. The dealer is all sloppy. And then they have like those poker chips that you buy from like Target or Walmart, like that are red, black, green, and white that have no denominations on them, and no like logos or anything. They're just like plastic, like party poker chips.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be like a legit, serious gambling establishment.
These are Chip Lab casino grade poker chips, and ordering custom chips like these is fast and easy. Clay poker chips are our most popular choice and are available in 12 colors and several styles. The white part of the chip is the customizable area. Both sides can be the same or they can be different. We mass produce these chips so same day shipping is available and the normal turnaround time is just a few days.
But then is it the winner of Texas Hold'em decides the next game or something like that, where that's when we get to the Russian roulette scene.
Yes.
And that's Matthew Lawrence in a comical fake mustache and cowboy hat. And that's a moment that I guess is supposed to be intentionally funny, where they're like, you go first, no, you go first, and it goes on for a while. And then the payoff is that Matthew Lawrence just shoots himself in the head.
I can't lose!
Yeah, is he the one that wanted to play Russian roulette?
Yeah.
Because he always wins.
He always wins.
Why would you ever want to play that? I mean,
because this is the money plane, bitch. Anything goes.
Oh my God.
Money plane.
Because then we get to the other gambling, which is like, they have like a live feed of somebody in like a snake pit.
Yes.
They're like betting on how long you
We never see the snake.
No. They couldn't afford the snake. They spent all their money on the poker chips.
There's a pentagram.
I don't know what that's about.
I think it's because they said, okay, well, what kind of shady people around the world would agree to do this kind of stuff? Okay, maybe devil worshippers, maybe weird like Russian mobsters, because there's a scene where 2 Russian guys hack an arm off.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what they were betting on, like how long it takes to hack off an arm.
I don't know. I was wondering about that with the piranhas. They throw a guy in a pit of piranhas.
It was how long can the piranhas eat down to the bone?
Whoa, stripped to the bone in 1 minute and 56 seconds. Won again by Mr. McGillicuddy.
And it's
only like a minute.
Yeah, and I was like, how can you tell? And it's like this fake skeleton comes up, and it's some like I don't know, Chinese guy or something. So it's like, okay, so there's sketchy parts of the world where there's criminal underworld that will do this. I'm assuming they get paid by the Concierge and the money plane enterprise.
In which case, the whole flying over international airspace doesn't even matter because all the criminal activity is taking place on the ground.
Yes.
Money plane.
This job sucks.
If we're going to talk about Kelsey Grammer, this is, I wouldn't say phoned it in. It's just like...
He put in the appropriate amount of effort for Money Plane.
Are you really fucking with me right now? Are you fucking with me?
Yeah.
You don't quite buy him when he's saying, he has a line towards the end of the movie where he says, I'm the baddest motherfucker on the planet.
I'm the baddest motherfucker on the planet.
I'm Darius Grouch III.
I am Darius Grouch III, the Rumble, and I am taking down the money plane. Now bring me my money.
How do you deliver those lines menacingly and serious? You don't. So Kelsey Grammer is just like, whatever. It's a paycheck. Well, we get to the end and they decide to, when Jack realizes that he's been double-crossed by the Rumble, and that he got set up to rob the money plane, even though he didn't need the original setup of the painting anyway. But he does like a secret recording of Kelsey Grammer. We get a flashback to their original meeting where I guess he has a microphone or something under the table. Why did he put that there? Just in anticipation that he would need it later?
Hey, can you trust a guy named the Rumble?
That's true. Darius Grouch III.
I wouldn't trust Darius Grouch III.
I wouldn't trust Darius Grouch II.
He's a shady businessman, but I like that. Yeah, it's not just like a recorder that he has to come back and get later. They got the prop right.
But they're talking over his computer anyway. They have like a camera link.
Yeah, I know.
So can you just record the sound from the computer?
That's where I thought it came from originally. And then I was like,
I don't give a fuck who's on that plane. I'm the baddest motherfucker on the planet.
Oh, but it's this big, like, bulky object with like an antenna on it. That's clearly like, okay, well, you know, he can't just put a digital recorder down there because he'd have to come back and get it.
Yeah.
It has to be something that could transmit to a plane that's God knows where. So it has to be bulky and have a big antenna. And Kelsey Grammer never noticed it. And I guess when Kelsey Grammer gets mad, he reaches under his table and shakes it.
Yeah. Well, you could tell he wanted to flip that table, and wherever they were shooting that, he probably couldn't. Yes. So he just kind of went, "Rah!"
I thought he was going to flip the table.
But he records Kelsey Grammer saying, "I'm the baddest motherfucker on the planet. I'm Darius Grouch III, and I'm going to take down the money plane." He says all those very specific things so they know exactly who he is.
I don't give a fuck who's on that plane. I'm the baddest motherfucker on the planet. I am Darius Grouch III, the Rumble, and I am taking down the money plane. Now bring me my money!
So then when Jack plays that recording back, I guess through the sound system of the money plane?
It's set up. Remember they play music through it?
Oh yeah, that's true. So then everybody just...
airtight script.
It is. So then everybody, all the criminals on the money plane, I guess they're just like,
okay, we'll go kill this guy.
I guess we got to kill that guy that I just heard over the radio.
We don't even know who he is or where he is or what he is.
Well, they find him pretty quick.
On behalf of the house, I want to assure you that Mr. Grouch's head will be on a platter by the time we land.
They find him in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But they can't even secure their own aircraft. They don't even know it's been taken over.
No.
And I at least give the movie credit for this. The logic lapses are explained in bafflingly pointless throwaway lines. Like Joey Lawrence's, his job there is to set up all the things that don't make sense later with his concierge character. He says, there are no cameras on board because we respect your privacy.
As you know, there are no cameras on board. This is to ensure the utmost discretion.
But that doesn't explain why there wouldn't be cameras outside of their vault and their server room and their cockpit and the places where patrons or guests of the money plane don't go.
Or aren't supposed to be.
Because there's clearly a line that says you're not supposed to be down here. I think the girl says it. She's wearing the flight attendant costume.
Someone says it.
She says it to the guy he's smoking. He's like, she's like, you're not supposed to be down here.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be down here.
So why wouldn't you have cameras down there? Because
money plane.
Logically, the money plane would have like a security room with 3 or 4 guys watching monitors that monitor a room full of cash, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not just have one, not 2. 1 security guard watching a room full of cash and servers containing billions, not millions.
They say billions. Over $1 billion.
Billions of dollars of cryptocurrency, which can be hacked and transmitted easily with an iPhone.
Mm-hmm. Well, they originally needed help from their man on the ground, the other Lawrence, but then thugs show up to kill him, so then Thomas Jane has to get involved with a drone with a gun awkwardly attached to it. It's not even like a super cool drone that's like made specifically with
machine guns,
with guns built into it. It's just a toy drone that they just attached a toy gun to.
Because you know what the script called for was like a Predator drone. Like he had military background, so he might have had access to a Predator drone, which is like, those things are big.
Sure.
They're like I don't know, they're as big as like a couple of cars. They're huge. They're not like, you know,
No, there's a little toy, one of those little white plastic drones with a gun on it.
They wanted a Predator drone. They didn't have access to the proper stock footage of a Predator drone. And they didn't want to do a CGI Predator drone. It would have looked terrible.
Oh, they should have done that. That would have been great.
So they got one at Best Buy, and they duct taped a gun to it. And that was the best they could do.
Stay still, you bastard. That's it. Right up your ass. Sucks to be you, pal.
I'm still on the fence on whether or not this movie was an actual joke. I really don't know. I really don't know. It's so poorly made.
It's all played so straight, though. I didn't get the impression that it's like an intentionally bad movie. I think it's just a very, very cheap movie that, in their mind, they had something more elaborate, and it just kept getting whittled down and whittled down.
Yeah, that's possible. Because, yeah, you could kind of see, like, the faint shadow of what it was supposed to be or what they're trying to do.
Oh, yeah.
It's something that's really hard to nail down.
Mm-hmm. Another interestingly bad movie, though.
It's interestingly
This has been
bad.
a good year for that, between like Veronica.
Who is it? I'm in here. I didn't call maintenance today.
And then Aqua Splash, and now this. This has been a great year for confusingly terrible movies.
Veronica's, yeah, that's confusingly terrible. It's got to be like a new category. Veronica wasn't hilariously bad either, but...
No, none of these were, but they're all interesting to watch and like try and figure out what were they thinking.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall while this movie was being made and just kind of watch it all come together, or even in the editing room. Or oh my God, the muzzle flares from 1992. Like,
from your digital action pack where you drop the effect in.
You could find better, more realistic looking muzzle flares on like fucking YouTube for free.
Yeah.
And they look like they're painted on, like in like Photoshop. Like they look really bad. They look like Suburban Sasquatch, like muzzle flares, like an amateur movie from like the 90s.
Yeah.
Like that scene when Kelsey Grammer like shoots the machine gun. Like the
is that when they cut away because they didn't have any actors for him to actually shoot at?
Yes. The elite assassin squad from the Money Plane come to hunt
I guess
him
they
down.
showed up. They're off camera, but they're there. Trust us.
Yeah. And he knows they're there, so he gets a big machine gun, and he does like it's like an attempt at like a Scarface ending, and it's just like the digital camera shake. And Kelsey Grammer screaming, and the muzzle flares look terrible, and oh my God. So that's where I question the legitimacy of this movie, whether or not it's supposed to be funny bad, or if they just had like the worst, cheapest editor who's just like, I'm not putting in any effort into this.
That could be.
You're not paying me enough.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do the worst job on this because you're an asshole. You're not paying me enough. I'll put in muzzle flares, but I'm not going to put in good ones because I hate you. Like that's the vibe I got from the editing.
All right, you sons of bitches, let's do it.
Would you recommend it? Would you recommend someone watching this? I guess I should ask you first because you're the one who said we should do this movie.
Yeah. I would. Yeah. I thought it was, like I said, it's not like hilariously bad, like a best of the worst movie, but it does have this like cumulative effect on you. Whereas it went on, it was more and more amusing to me. It's like looking at a train wreck. I'm sure we've said that many times, but it's just so cheap. And there's so many weird little decisions that you have one on top of the other.
It's certainly interesting from a movie making perspective. It's just baffling and terrible at how bad something could be.
Yeah.
Money Plane.
And not in a charming way.
Got a bad feeling about this. Things are going south.
In a kind of a disgusting way. I felt like I wanted to throw up after watching it. Like in a way where I felt sorry for everyone involved in it, all the actors. I felt like sick.
Money Plane.
Like embarrassed.
Bunch of bitches.
You know what I mean? As myself, as a viewer, like sick. After like maybe an hour of it, I felt sick.
Okay.
That something could exist made by human beings that is so bad. I felt literally nauseous.
So you'd recommend it?
Yeah. Fuck it. You know, it's been weeks since we've had a VCR repair job.
Yeah, you'd think there'd be an uptick since all the streaming services are offline.
If it wasn't for those newfangled DVD players, tons of people would be needing our services.
My DVDs aren't, never mind. Hey, what do we do now?
Well, since we can't watch TV, movies, or riots, Maybe we should look into bettering ourselves. You know, I'm gonna start working out more. I'm gonna get into shape. Maybe I'll take up meditation or yoga. Get in touch with my spiritual side.
Yeah, you know, before we became VCR repairmen, I was writing a novel.
What? Really?
Yeah, it's been my dream since I was little to be an author. You know, write the great American novel. I've been thinking about revisiting that. You know, reflecting on my dreams, aspirations, and honing that into a novel that will inspire and hopefully...
Oh, Netflix is back.
Oh, thank God.
Nice? Oh, yeah, nice. Wait a minute. Whoa. Are those chickens?
Yeah, sa chicken. Please, pabuksan ng tubig. Salamat.
There's chickens. There's chickens.
Yeah.
And rabbits and bunnies. Okay, hold on. Okay. Rose.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, I dropped the soap. Thank you. Okay, I'm done.
You done?
Oh my God.
Money plane.